Welcome to the Building Newfoundland and Labrador podcast, dedicated to exploring the interesting journeys of the people in the provincial construction industry. Presented by the Newfoundland and Labrador Construction Association, produced by Gale Force Winds. Join us as we chat with the inspirational individuals that ensure the continued growth of the construction industry and the province of Newfoundland and Labrador.
Welcome to the Building Newfoundland and Labrador podcast, and here we are at Build Expo 2023, and I can tell you it's great to be in conversation with people on the floor. Linda, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Linda Mansfield, and I am chair of the membership committee on the board of directors for the Newfoundland and Labrador Construction Association. Professionally, I have a home building business called Homeworks that does manufactured housing and renovations.
Wow.
And I'm also managing director for WH Parsons Limited, which is part of the Parsons Engineering group of companies. And that particular company has commercial and residential real estate throughout St. John's and greater St. John's area.
Linda, what was your journey up to all of these impressive positions?
Oh my goodness, we could be here for some time, I think.
We have the whole internet.
When I graduated Memorial with my business degree, I didn't see myself sticking around here at first. I got offered a job in Ontario and Ottawa and was working for the federal government there for a little while at Investment Partnerships Canada, and that was really interesting work. Like many people, I guess you get drawn back to the province. In doing so, I did a lot of work with nonprofits here actually, in training development and marketing and communications in particular. But as it turned out, I was thinking about getting away from nonprofit and moving more towards the corporate world, since that's what I studied. And my brother at the time was developing a specialization in fall protection engineering, and wanted me to come and partner with him in developing that side of the business because of my training background in marketing and communications. So I helped him put together all the packaging for that and the selling of that particular arm of his engineering firm, and helped in the development of some training programs that he used to deliver about that. And that got me interested in construction after all.
Wow.
And I moved on from helping him with that to when I came off maternity leave. Instead of going back to that, I started Homeworks
So
myself.
tell us about Homeworks.
So Homeworks has been around since 2010. It was a bit of a struggle, I got to say. Everything in Newfoundland seems to be behind the scenes, doesn't it? Like behind the times a little bit. So manufactured housing I found to be very, very interesting, and I saw it as a way of the future.
Excuse me, I'm going to interrupt you.
Oh, sure.
What does that mean, manufactured housing? I'm not quite sure what that even means.
Homes that are built in a facility.
Oh, so prefab kind of
prefabricated homes.
Okay,
yes.
interesting.
So,
I thought that might be what it was.
Everybody around here just thinks that's them trailers, and and because that's what it was years ago. So it was interesting trying to break into the market with true manufactured housing, which has the same building code or even sometimes exceeds the building code for traditional homes, the way that they are built now. So, but people still thought that they were going to be lesser than, or they were still trailers, they're chattels. But that's not the way it is anymore. You can drive around town and see some of our homes and not even realize that they're manufactured homes.
And are they manufactured here in the province?
No, we're actually just about to start doing that.
Okay.
The pandemic changes things, and shipping costs have gone up an awful lot. So we are going to start manufacturing them. Actually, we're getting started as soon as the rest of the snow goes away.
Is that right?
Yes.
That's a very exciting time for you and the company then.
Yes, I think it's really going to be fabulous. I'm looking forward to it.
A lot of heavy lifting there, I would imagine.
I call it Legos for adults. That's what I call it.
Were you into Legos when you were younger?
No, I don't think I was. I was into a lot of things that mostly guys were typically interested in, though, so it's not hard to imagine moving into construction.
Right. And your other roles you have right now? You have that company, and then what else are you involved in?
Yeah, so I did stay with the Parsons Engineering group, just on the facilities management side of things. So we do have some commercial and residential real estate properties, so I look after, I'm managing director for that particular company. And I have started to help out, my brother again with his Parsons Engineering and steel fabrication business. on the business development side, and also some optimization for operations.
Do you sleep?
I was going to say, and you're running memberships for this organization.
Yeah, you know what? You don't get what you really should get out of any membership in an association without being involved. It really does require that to really truly get out of it what you want to. It's the best way to meet people, to meet other members, to get to know everybody, is to truly to volunteer, to get involved, whether that's at the committee level or the board level.
I agree.
You know?
And it's funny, I was talking to another association there about a month ago, and there's 300 businesses in that particular industry. I won't name it. They have 50 members in their association. That's it. Think about that. And I was telling them about the NLCA. I mean, what are you at now? 600 members, maybe?
Yeah, it's
something
quite a
like
few.
that.
It's quite a few numbers. Yeah.
That would probably be a significant portion of the entire industry, would it not, in Newfoundland?
It is quite a large portion that are members. Yeah, and I mean the association has been around since the early '60s. So people do recognize the value in the membership for sure.
There's so much value, though, isn't there, Alan? I mean, here today, that education that's going on over there, and just the networking, the lobster boil. There's so many activities always for your members. So kudos to you guys for doing this, right?
Yeah, I really enjoy getting involved, and I am looking forward to this next year in particular. Now that things are back to in person, because when I first joined the board 3 years ago, it was literally when the pandemic started. I mean, we spent the whole first year never meeting the other board members in person. So it's very excited to get back to in-person things, definitely.
And the advocacy that the association provides as well. I mean, it's evident. You hear the Premier speak. He understands the importance of the NLCA. So it's you're doing a lot of great work there. This is a great expo. It must be exciting to be back in person for the first time in a while.
It really is, and this is the first time that the NLCA has done this type of expo, and it's nice to see. You see a lot of consumer-based expos, but it's nice to have a business-to-business one happening. That is very industry-specific.
Yeah. So, in charge of membership for the association, what would you say to companies that might be looking at joining?
I don't think that companies that are not involved realize just how much behind-the-scenes advocacy does happen. There are a lot of issues with tendering processes and things that people complain about, and it's really it's much more effective to try and deal with such issues when you band together. So that is one particular thing I would point out, and it's a way to get the issues that you have heard instead of it just being you complaining about something. It's a way to get true action. It's meeting people to do business with. Sometimes you don't know a company to do business with, and you don't know their work or their history, and by getting to learn things about your peers one-on-one at such events like this, you can get an idea of what doing work relationships with some of them would be like.
Yeah. It's a very collaborative group, there's no doubt about it. You can sense the collaboration when you talk to folks here. Everybody wants to work together. They understand that a rising tide floats all boats here. A lot of really cool things happening in Newfoundland right now at the moment, whether it's in renewable energy or that infrastructure announcements. It must be an exciting time for you, not only as a member of this association, but also as a person who has their own business in the construction field. It must be very exciting times.
Yeah, I mean, I think the pandemic has really, flipped how people think about things, and it's caused a lot of changes. And sometimes you need, that type of circumstances to flip how you think about and operate and do things. And at the time, it may not seem like it's a great thing that's happening to you, but if it causes you to think about doing things differently and having to do things differently than you've always done, then it can turn out to be for the better. And I think things are looking that way.
Linda, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the podcast, and thanks very much for telling us a little bit about what it is you're doing. To Jerry's point, I don't know when you could possibly sleep. You seem to be involved in a lot of things, making an impact into this industry largely, and thanks for doing that, and thanks for doing that for Newfoundland and Labrador.
Thank you guys for highlighting it.
This is important, Linda, to us and to the province, and you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, absolutely.
As are you guys. Does that mean you're going to take me to Turks and Caicos with you the next time you go?
Hey, interestingly enough, they might need your services.
Thank you for tuning in to the Building Newfoundland and Labrador podcast. Presented by the Newfoundland and Labrador Construction Association. Produced by Gale Force Winds.